What's going on? What's going on, all of you beautiful people? Hopefully, it's going to give y'all a few minutes to get up in here. Y'all know how I be on that CP time. That's why I be saying 7 p.m.-ish, 7 p.m.-ish or 6 p.m.-ish. But to girl. Today, we have a very, very interesting live show for those of you who were able to catch the biopic, however people say it differently. If you were able to catch that on Lifetime Surviving Compton, which is Michel'Le's side of the story, because we all know, if you were one of those people who actually did watch Straight Out of Compton, we all know that Michel'Le actually has a son by Dr. Dre, and she also has a daughter by Suge Knight. But we also know that she was not included in Straight Out of Compton. So she was actually happy that they did not include her in Straight Out of Compton. That way she was able to tell her side of the story, the truth, okay? Because we all know that they weren't going to put in there that he was beating on and all this old type of shit, okay? So yeah, we're going to discuss that on today. Let me get my, y'all know, bitch, y'all know. Give me a second, okay? This can bother you later. Y'all know how I do. What's up, Jen? What's up, Latricia? What's up, Crystal? What's up, Keisha? What's up, Miss J? What's up, Lashandra? What's up, M-Town Boy? What's up, Simply Lexi? What's up, Jen? For those of you that are going to be watching this on the playback way back, y'all know how we do. I always have to speak to my fam bam before we get into the meat and potatoes of this here particular situation, okay? Because, bitch, if you watched it, girl, I don't know about nobody else, but I was mad as fuck, okay? I was mad as fuck after I got done watching it, girl. At first, I was like, I don't know if I could be able to watch this, girl. I can't stand seeing no shit like this, y'all. But I had to sit through it, okay? Because everybody said it was a decent biopic. And I will say this, shout out to Lifetime, okay? Shout out to the director and the producer of this show. Let me tell you, it is 50 times better than that Aaliyah shit, okay? That Aaliyah shit that they did, when they put them old fucked up ass people in there portraying them folks. Let me just say this one right here is actually a 1,000 times better than that bullshit over there, okay? I will say that right there, okay? What's up, Elijah? What's up, Nikki? Yes, it's actually, somebody put it on Facebook. It's also here on YouTube. So if you have not seen it, definitely check it out. We are going to be discussing this, okay, in full detail. Let me just tell you that right here, right now. We're going to be discussing it, and we're going to be recapping it, okay? What's up, Ariel? You missed it last night. Girl, it's coming on again tonight. So if you have a DVR, set your DVR, but they also have it here on YouTube. I'm not sure how long they're actually going to leave it here on YouTube, but it's also on Facebook. So definitely check it out, okay? Definitely check it out. But I will say, shout out to the producer, the director, Lifetime, all those people, because it was actually a well put together biopic. I will say that, biopic, whatever. Y'all know I ain't politically correct around this motherfucker, okay? But girl, let's go ahead and get into this shit right here. I do have some notes, because girl, if I ain't have no notes, y'all know I will be here all day, okay? All day. Let me just say that right now. I ain't got my other light on, because if I turn my other light on, my eyes gonna start hurting. So I hope y'all okay with this, this mediocre lighting right here, y'all. But then let me tell you again, the whole reason why Michel'Le said that she decided to do this right here was because they did not include, and I guess anybody would be like that, okay? If you were with a guy for umpteen years and he was whooping on your ass, and then he created a movie and just completely and totally left you out of the movie and didn't, display the way that he treated you, okay? And especially if he was whooping on your ass, of course you would want to tell people what actually happened while you were with this person, okay? And a lot of people are saying she's doing it, she's an opportunist. Girl, I don't feel like she's no damn opportunist. This woman want to tell her side of the damn story. It is what the fuck it is, okay? I feel like she should have that right to be able to tell her side of the story, okay? That is my personal opinion. What I will say, it's a very fucked up situation that she was in. Her grandmother basically telling her is, pretty much look forward to men whooping your ass, okay? And anytime a man whoops your ass, you just need to fix the situation. That was fucked up. But, I guess, everybody was raised a little bit different. Let me tell y'all a true story right quick before we get into everything. Sorry, y'all know I got to go into a couple of rabbit holes, but true story. I knew a woman, okay? Well, I didn't know her. Well, I know her today, but back then I didn't know her. But real life, she was married to a man who whooped her ass every single day. Thank God she's no longer in this situation. But she was married to a man who whooped her ass every single day. As a matter of fact, he would come home and he would whoop her ass anytime he got mad at his side chick. The side chick would actually call this woman and be like, look, he left here, he mad, so you might want to be careful. She used to literally call her and tell her to be careful because he just left her house mad. He didn't beat on the side chick. Okay, I guess the side chick wasn't, she wasn't as I'm not gonna say weak. I'm gonna say mentally weak as that woman. So he wouldn't put his hands on the side chick. But anytime he got mad at his side chick, he would literally go home and beat on his wife. True story. Okay, true story. Thank God she's no longer with this dude. For those of you that don't know, if you've been watching me for a while, you may know that I used to work at a homeless shelter for abused women and children. It was kind of like a refuge. Anytime they wanted to leave an abusive situation, they used to come into the program and we would give them refuge from abusive men and abusive husbands. So for those of you that don't know that, or for those of you that have been following me for a while, you may know that I used to work for this homeless shelter for abused women and children, for those of you that don't know, okay? But let's go ahead and get into this shit. And like I said, I'm going to be talking, but I also want y'all to know I'm going to be reading the chat as well. And like I said, this shit right here just hurt my heart, family, because, us on the outside looking in, for those of us who have never been abused, the first thing that we're going to say is, why in the fuck didn't she leave? But let me tell you, a lot of those women that came into the program, the first thing that they said is that they tried to leave. A lot of times they weren't strong enough to leave, or a lot of times they felt like they didn't have anywhere to go, okay? Or you had a lot of these men who were abusive to these women who actually put fear in their hearts and actually told them, if you leave me, I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to kill your whole family. Or if you go anywhere to where I can't find you, I'm going to kill your mom, I'm going to kill you. They used to actually say this type of stuff, okay? For real. And it's sad as hell. And it's women out there that go through this stuff like this every single day, and they just feel like it's normal, which is very, very sad. What's up, Rose? What's up, Ooh-wee? But of course, Dr. Dre has denied all of these accusations. He basically said that she lying, okay? He basically said that she is telling a lie, okay? None of this shit happened. He also threatened to sue. And he actually, after, this whole biopic came out, he actually decided to go forth, whether this is happening or not, but he decided to go forth with this lawsuit claiming that, she is defaming his character and none of these things actually happened, okay? But for those of you that don't know, Michel'Le actually said that if he wants to sue, he can go ahead and sue. And she actually has people that they can subpoena who are witnesses to the fuck shit. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you were kind of like me. A lot of you were like, why in the fuck were these dudes, part of NWA and all these, why in the fuck were they allowing Dr. Dre to beat on Michel'Le like that in their presence? You know what I'm saying? Why in the fuck were they allowing this to happen? Which I think is fucked up. I will give props to Eazy-E and to what the fuck was his name? Oh my God, I got his name wrote down here. Oh my God, they're the manager, Jerry Heller. I will give props to them because they did try to stop the situation a couple of times, and they did tell her to leave Dr. Dre the fuck alone. Okay, Eazy-E and Jerry Heller, they did tell her to leave him the fuck alone a couple of times. I will give them props. But for the other ones in there, that's some fucked up ass shit. For them to see him beating her ass and them not motherfucker. And let me tell y'all a little bit of something about Dr. Dre that y'all probably didn't know. Word on the street is back then, Dr. Dre was real, he was real prideful and whooping on a woman's ass. But word on the street is that he wasn't too prone to step to a man like that. Okay, anytime it came time for him to step up to a man like that, they said that he wasn't that type of a dude, but he used to always, put his hands on women, which I think is that's some fuck shit. Okay. You man enough to hit a woman, but you ain't man enough to, approach another man like that. That's some old fuck shit. I ain't saying, I'm just motherfucking saying. And that happens a lot. Okay. That happens a lot because you got a lot of these people, a lot of these men who abuse women, who they look at it as a power, they be on a power trip. And I will say this, I'm not gonna say when Dr. Dre first met Michel'Le that he didn't like her, according to the biopic. But all I can say is after time went on and after they moved in together, et cetera, what I will say is that basically Michel'Le just turned into being a fucking maid and shit for Dr. Dre. She was just his cook and a person who was going to clean up his fucking house, okay? That's pretty much all she was, because we all know that he left for weeks on end, okay? Left her at the damn house. Didn't give her no money for food. Didn't pay the damn bills. The damn lights and shit got cut off. That is some fuck shit, family. That's some fuck shit. But anyway, let me keep going, okay? But like I said, Dr. Dre has denied all of these claims. But let me tell you the crazy fucking part. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Dr. Dre, he issued an apology. Now, he didn't call Michel'Le's name, but let me tell you what he said. Now, this was before the biopic came out, okay? This is what Dr. Dre said. He said, I made some fucking horrible mistakes in my life. I was young, fucking stupid. I would say all the allegations aren't true. Some of them are. Those are some of the things that I would like to take back. It was really fucked up, but I paid for those mistakes. And there's no way in hell that I will ever make another mistake like that again. Now, after that bullshit, family, he decided, his lawyer, because after all that shit, of course, everybody was like, damn, nigga, you fucking basically admitting that you was beating on this chick, okay? You was pretty much admitting that you was beating on her. But his lawyer came out and said he wasn't referring to Michel'Le. Let me read you exactly what he said, okay? Dre's attorney told Jezebel that the apology did not refer to Michel'Le's claims, okay? Her false claims of being a victim arose for the first time more than 25 years after their relationship ended, coinciding with the success of Straight Outta Compton and her own efforts to sell a life story. So pretty much, Dr. Dre's lawyer pretty much said that he did, issue an apology, but it wasn't in reference to Michel'Le. And he was pretty much saying Michel'Le decided to come out with these false accusations because they did not include her in Straight Outta Compton. And she pretty much just wanted to make some money by releasing a false story. Now, that's what Dr. Dre's lawyer said, okay? And also, for those of you that don't know, apparently Suge Knight said that he gonna sue if she, releases this biopic. Bitch, Suge, you need to be worrying about your own motherfucking shit. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? You need to be worrying about whether or not you're gonna get your ass out of jail for that murder your ass to commit. As a matter of fact, you end up paying for some other shit that you did too, because we all know allegedly your ass is partly to blame for the whole Tupac and Biggie Smalls death thing. We all know that motherfucking shit. So you need to shut the fuck up, Suge Knight, okay? For real though. Just saying, okay? Sorry. Someone said Dre didn't expect her to expose him at all. He was hoping that she'd stay quiet. Exactly. That's what he was hoping. That's what he was hoping for. Okay. But she decided, like she said she's glad that they didn't include her in the, Straight Outta Compton. That way she was able to tell her story exactly how it happened. Okay. And apparently, according to the people who the producers or directors or whatever of, Straight Outta Compton, or, people behind the scenes, they actually said that they actually did shoot scenes that included Michel'Le, but Dr. Dre decided that he didn't want to include those in the movie. Of course he didn't want to include it in the movie. You want to know why he didn't want to include it in the movie? He didn't want to include it in the movie because he knew it was going to make him look bad as fuck. And that this just goes to show how easy it is for a person to be liked, okay? This just goes to show how easy it is for a person to be liked. And then, they show us how this person, then again, I don't know if I can say was or is, okay? I don't know whether he probably shit. They said once a woman beat, always a woman beat. I don't know how true that is. Okay, maybe they can be rehabilitated. I don't fucking know. All I'm saying is it just goes to show how 1 second you can, look at a person in a certain light. And now that I've seen this damn movie, I'm looking like, I don't even know if I can look at that motherfucker. This motherfucker for real, okay? For real. And the fact that you allegedly did this shit and you denying that you did this shit, boy, sit your motherfucking ass down. She's not scared of these asses. No, okay? Okay, and I'm glad that she's deciding to, let her voice be heard. There are a lot of women out there who have gone through and are currently going through the same exact things that she went through. And, they're afraid to say something. And I love the fact, y'all let me know if y'all like this. Did you like the fact that they were, that she was a narrator in the movie, how she was, coming in during some of the scenes and basically looking at herself, this woman playing her back then. And she said it was kind of eerie for her actually, sitting in during some of the taping of the movie, because she said it was like she was watching herself back then. And she said once the movie was done and she watched it back, she said it was kind of like, it didn't look like that to her back then. Of course, when you're in the situation, it doesn't look like that to you, and when you see it back, she was like, damn, I can't believe I actually went through that. And let me tell you, she's a survivor. The fact that Dr. Dre actually shot at her, y'all, and missed, okay? Dr. Dre actually shot at her and missed, and then had the nerve to tell her, what kind of mother are you? I was like, what in the fuck? I was like, what in the fuck? You shoot at this woman. Thank God he missed. The baby started crying. And he's like, come here and get this baby. What kind of mother are you? I mean, this motherfucker. I mean, then not once did he refer to his son by his name. Did you guys notice that too? Not once did he refer to his son by his name. That's some fuck shit. Let me keep going, okay? And also, for those of you that don't know, in 3 years ago, Michel'Le actually tried to commit suicide. Okay, she actually tried to commit suicide. Let me tell you what she said. She said, 2 years ago, I tried to kill myself. As I was I can't talk. Let me start over. She said, 2 years ago, I tried to kill myself as I was at a such low point in my life. Looking back, I didn't even know I was depressed. I was just so used to feeling that way and thought that was what life was like. I tried telling my family and friends, but they just blow you off and say, yeah, right. They don't know how it is. So they just don't want to be around that. It's easy for people to say, okay, get over it, let it go. But then again, it's not that easy. Exactly. People feel like when things happen to you, just say 10, 15 years ago, some people feel like, okay, that's in the past. You just need to let it go. Hell no. Okay. I mean, it's easy for a person that's never been through it to say, okay, just get over it. Okay, just get over it. That's just like a person who's been, like I said, a person who's been abused, a person who's been bullied. It's easy for people to say, just get over it. That happened 10 years ago. You need to move on with your life. But at the same time, if you've never been through it, it's easy for you to say, just get over it. But it's not that easy, okay? It's not that fucking easy. And I'm glad that she didn't succeed in killing herself. Depression is a bitch, okay? Depression is a motherfucker. What's up, me universe? Okay? Like I said, it was very sad that her grandmother basically was telling her to basically prepare herself for men hitting on her. And I do want to commend her for after all was said and done, after Michel'Le was grown and shit and then had a child by this abusive ass man, her grandmother did tell her to never let a man hit her again, okay? But it was just sad as fuck. And what's even more sad, family, is the fact that this girl was so damn talented. Well, I'm not going to say was, she is so fucking talented. And the fact that her net worth right now is right around, I think they're saying it's like $100,000. That's some fucked up ass shit. And I will say that, hell, she was kind of a saving grace in the whole situation when old boy found her in the store that she was working in, when they needed a woman to, sing on their album. She was a saving grace for their ass, because it seemed like to me they were fucking hell. They were hitting goddamn rocks in hard places. and she being her being a very talented person. And the whole movie, it was a good movie, but it just fucked me up for real. Okay, it really fucked me up. All right. Like I said, Lonzo found her in the store. You know, she was working in because they needed a female singer who dropped out or some shit. Hell, they probably was whooping her ass too. Ain't no damn telling. But he found her in the store and told her that he wanted her to come to the studio and, you know, sing on one of their records for them. When she got there, of course, the first thing they hear is her voice. And but I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Michel'Le, the reason why she talks like that, I think they said she talks over her larynx box. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think they said she talks over her larynx box, and that's the reason why her voice is so high. And people wonder how her voice is so high-pitched, almost like a cartoon character, and she has such a powerful singing voice. Okay, I guess it's two different. I don't know how to describe it. Okay, the way the sounds come out, I don't know, but I know they said when she speaks over her larynx box, but when she sings, she has a very, very powerful singing voice, and I love her. I love her singing. I don't know about anybody else, okay? But of course, like I said, when she got there, they were making fun of her, calling her Minnie Mouse and all this type of shit. But once she started to sing, they started to love her voice. And after she got done, Dr. Dre invited her to dinner. And after he took her to dinner, you know, they kind of low-key fell for each other. Even though Michel'Le said that Dr. Dre really wasn't her type. But, you know, I guess he was Dr. Dre, and she felt like, you know, this was her way out of the hood, low-key, okay? And she said he was a good person, you know, when she first met him, okay? All right. Now, did y'all peep this fucking shit? Now, Dr. Dre was a hoe. I heard that he was a hoe. I've been heard that Dr. Dre was a hoe. Of course, while she was in the studio, after her and Dr. Dre started to actually date or whatever, she was in the studio and he got a phone call from one of his ex-girlfriends. And she was sitting there like, okay, who the fuck is this? So he gets on the phone and he walks over there to her. He was like, I gotta run. That was one of my ex-girlfriends. You know, she about to have a baby and the baby mine. So that's basically how she found out that this fool was finna have a baby. Even though, you know, the girl was pregnant before he met Michel'Le, the fact of the matter is you knew you had a baby on the way and you didn't tell me about the shit. So she told him, go handle your business. But that ain't even the fucked up part. Even more fucked up part is after he had that baby and him and Michel'Le were dating and having sex and all this other shit, she comes to find out that this motherfucker got another baby on the way. Nigga, damn. So you just had one baby 2 months ago or 3 months ago, and all of a sudden you got your ass popping up and you got another chick that's about to have a baby. What the fuck? When were you going to tell me about that shit? And then she finds out not only does he have this baby that he had 3 months ago and another baby that he's about to have now, this motherfucker got 3 other kids. And he said, I think that's it. Motherfucker, y'all, y'all. And y'all see why he didn't put none of that shit in Straight Outta Compton, right? You see why he didn't put none of this shit in Straight Outta Compton, right? I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Girl, Then, of course, eventually they got to the point where he wanted her to move in with him. Like I said, she was basically just his fucking slave, okay? She was just the person that'll clean up the house and cook his damn food and all this old type of shit. Then he got to the point where he would get drunk and shit, and he would literally come home, family. He would go and get drunk and just come home, and because he didn't had a bad night or whatever, and just decided he want to come home and whoop ass. Remember the story I told you in the beginning about the woman who was married to the man? He got mad at his side chick, and he would come home and whoop her ass. This fool would go out and get drunk and come home and whoop Michel'Le's ass. Just for nothing. She just laying in the bed. Hey, baby, how you doing? He just whooping her ass, just off general purposes. So, of course, you know, every time he whooped her ass, she got to the point where she would take prescription pain medication and liquor to be able to mellow out the pain, because she said if she was drunk and high off of pain medication, then the licks and things, you know, every time he hit her, it wouldn't hurt as bad if she was drunk and high. And that's some sad ass shit. That is a very sad reality that a lot of women go through in these abusive relationships. You got a lot of women who actually abuse alcohol and drugs in order to escape the pain of being in an abusive relationship. And that's extremely sad. Extremely sad, family. Extremely sad. I don't know if y'all peeped that, but one night he actually got drunk, and Eazy-E, this was one of the first times that we heard that Eazy-E was actually defending her. He actually called her and he said, Michel'Le, Dre just left here and he drunk. He said, I think you need to go ahead and get out of the house because you already know when he get there, he gonna beat you up just because. But of course, she decided that instead of her leaving the house, she was just going to drink and take some pain pills in order to mellow out the pain. And of course, the first thing he did when he came in the house, drunk, was whooped her ass. Fucked up. Somebody said, what made me mad is when he warned her that he was coming home and she should have left. Yeah, she should have left then. But again, when you are, like I said, I've never been in an abusive relationship, so I can't speak from experience, but I can say, you know, working in an environment where a lot of these women came into the program who were in abusive situations, a lot of them, they were afraid to leave. Even though the man was at work, they knew he was 4 or 5 hours away and they could have easily left. A lot of them were afraid to leave because he threatened them if he ever found them that he would kill them or he would kill their family. So you had a lot of people that were actually afraid to leave these abusive situations because of what they thought the man might do. And you got some of them that were at the time, Michel'Le and Dr. Dre and the rest of them, they were very young. They were extremely young, from my understanding. Y'all can chime in the chat and let me know exactly how old they were during this movie. But I think they said that they were around between 18 and 20, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around up in there. Keisha said her baby had no diapers or formula and the lights got cut off. Yes. Dr. Dre would leave for weeks at a time. He would leave for weeks at a time, and he wouldn't leave Michel'Le any food for her and the baby. He wouldn't leave her any money, and he wasn't paying the damn bills, okay? And that was, of course, during a time when she actually, was actually, looked to Suge Knight to being her saving grace. And we can talk about Suge Knight for a second. Suge Knight was actually a co-founder, if I'm not mistaken, of Death Row Records. But I know him and Dr. Dre were kind of like business partners. Now, when Michel'Le first met Suge Knight, she thought he was an evil motherfucker. She said he just had all kind of evil demons surrounding his ass. She said she just got a bad omen from Suge Knight. She just got a bad omen from him, and she did not like him. But it turns out that Suge Knight got to the point where, or at least in Michel'Le's eyes, he turned out to be an angel to her in the beginning, okay? Because when Dr. Dre would leave for weeks on end, she would actually call Suge Knight, and Suge Knight would bring her food, he'd bring her money, and he became kind of like a saving grace for her. And it got to the point where Dr. Dre's career was like taking off. Dr. Dre was doing real good in his career. Michel'Le had started on a downward spiral. She got to the point where she was, real hard in the liquor and the pills. Suge Knight actually told Michel'Le, you can't keep letting this man beat on you. You can't keep abusing these pills and this alcohol, okay? You need to go to rehab. So Suge Knight actually paid for Michel'Le to go to rehab. Okay, Suge Knight actually paid for Michel'Le to go to rehab. Now let me tell you the even more fucked up part about that. While Michel'Le was away in rehab, how about she comes back? Okay, she comes back and she comes back and Dr. Dre is engaged to another woman. That's how she basically found out when she got back. Didn't even know about the shit. Okay, didn't even know that Dr. Dre was engaged to another woman. What about the baby? The baby was staying with Michel'Le's grandmother. Their son was staying with her grandmother, with Michel'Le's grandmother. And let's talk about the time Michel'Le came home when she was away when she went to perform, open up for MC Hammer, and she came back to the house, went to roll up in the bed, thought she was finna be rubbing on Dr. Dre, and tell me why she was rubbing up on some bitch, okay? She was rubbing up on some bitch. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? This chick comes home after going on tour for 2 weeks. She come home, she slide up in the bed thinking she finna be rubbing on her man, and it's a bitch that come out from up under the cover. What kind of shit is that, family? That's some shit to go through. That's really some shit to go through. Chris is saying, why are people throwing shade at her for messing with Suge? She had nothing, and he was offering her a new life, even though he had a wife. I guess people were saying it was kind of like karma, I guess, fucking around with a married man. I don't know why people were saying that. I don't know why people were saying it, but, she admitted that she didn't fool around with Suge to get back at Dr. Dre. And she also said that she didn't fool around with him, for money. She said she messed around with him because, I guess he was a nice guy at the time, and he was kind of like an angel to her in the situation, after she basically left the situation where this dude was beating on her, and this dude actually got her out of the situation and actually put her into rehab. And let's talk about Suge Knight a little bit further, okay? We know that Suge Knight went to jail for 5 years for violating his parole, okay? Went to jail for 5 years for violating his parole. When he went to fucking jail, this fool actually, family, now this was the crazy ass fucking part. He pretty much put Michel'Le in a house. This man hired a security detail. This just goes to show the type of power that Suge Knight had, okay? This goes to show the type of power that Suge Knight had back then. People think that Suge Knight ain't really had. Suge Knight had some fucking money. When he went to prison, he was actually paying Michel'Le $30,000 per month, okay? $30,000 per month. But the catch was, she had this real strict ass prison visitation that she had to do. Had this strict ass prison visitation that she had to do. He basically, had her. She was basically a prisoner in the house that he was paying for. He actually restricted her visitation to her grandmother. He wouldn't even let the girl go see her grandmama, y'all. The shit was crazy as fuck. She was pretty much one of his employees, pretty much. Now, we also know while he was in prison that he told her that he wanted to marry her. Now y'all catch this tea. Of course, she said that she didn't want to do the shit no more. She didn't want his money. She pretty much told him to keep all his money and all this whole other shit. But he told her, okay, I know your son going to practice tomorrow. He basically hinted that he would hurt her son and her grandmother if she didn't continue to, basically be his hoe, pretty much, okay? If she didn't continue to be his, but then again, I can't say she was really being his hoe because his shit, he was paying her $30,000 a month. And again, that just goes to show how much power this motherfucker had. Be able to pay somebody $30,000 a month, hire a full security detail, girl. What kind of shit is that? But of course, Suge Knight began to beat on Michel'Le as well. He began to beat on her too. Now, Suge Knight did stop beating on Michel'Le after she had his daughter. He did stop beating on her after she had his daughter. But we know in the end, this fool pulled out a gun on her and all this shit. She was like, Suge, I ain't scared of your motherfucking ass, okay? I ain't scared of you. It's your motherfucking turn to be scared, okay? It's your turn to be scared. If y'all don't also know, he beat her so bad one time, y'all, he sent her to the hospital. Suge Knight whooped her so bad that he sent her to the hospital, and he proceeds to tell her, okay, this is what you need to tell the folk. They're going to ask you why the fuck you here. Hold up. She had a daughter by Suge Knight, right? I know she had a son by Dr. Dre, but I think she had a daughter by Suge Knight, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was a son, I don't know. But he broke a fucking jaw. And he pretty much told her to, when you get there, make sure you tell them folks that you were playing football. And I'm thinking to myself, playing football? What the fuck? I don't know. I guess they was playing football and the football hit her in the face or some shit. That's what he told her to tell the folks. It's some crazy ass shit, family. But like I said, Michel'Le said she thought it was normal. Remember, her grandmother had told her when she was a little girl, even though she told her grandmother, because she used to always see, you know, women in their neighborhood getting beat on and shit. And she looked at it as something that was normal. And her grandmother even told her that if a man beats on you, pretty much told her to look forward to men beating on her. And sometimes men's hands work quicker than their brain. And that's pretty much why men beat on you. Of course, some old bullshit, okay? Some bullshit. That's some fucking bullshit. But her grandmama told her that men's hands work quicker than their brain. And, you know, if a man ever beat on you, pretty much just, you know, fix the situation. So she thought the shit was normal. But of course, now she said, looking back at the situation, now that she watched the movie in real time, she see that she was basically lucky to get out of the situation alive. She was very lucky to get out of the situation alive. You got these motherfuckers who was pulling guns on her family. Dr. Dre even shot at her. Dr. Dre even shot at this woman and had the nerve to tell her, what kind of mama are you? Come and get this baby. What? Girl. Anyway, she also said that she was actually grateful. For those that don't know this, she said she was grateful for her relationship with Dr. Dre, because she said her relationship with Dr. Dre actually opened up a lot of doors for her. It actually, it revealed a lot. She pretty much had a lot of the world showed to her. But she also said that she was scared as fuck, because she said she didn't know exactly what Dr. Dre would do next. Because remember, this fool would go out and get drunk and come home and just whoop her ass just because. Didn't have a reason to whoop her ass, but he'd just go out and get drunk, come home and whoop her ass. And again, for those of you that have not seen this, I would definitely say you need to check out Surviving Compton. Like I said, it's on YouTube as of right now. I don't know if it's going to be on there tomorrow, okay? I don't know if it's going to be on there tomorrow. Now, we can also talk about right after Michel'Le had got pregnant with Dr. Dre's son. Remember, she got pregnant. She was actually having a conversation in their house with Jerry Heller. And she was telling Jerry Heller about the situation, about her being pregnant with Dr. Dre's child. Now, Jerry Heller was pretty much telling her, you know, asking her what she wanted to do about it, because at the time she was on tour. Okay. She was pretty much on tour. But as they were discussing the whole situation, he was basically telling her that he had a doctor that she can go see and all this type, pretty much hinting at the fact that if she wanted to have an abortion, she could have an abortion, because he knew a really, really good doctor. But Dr. Dre ended up walking in on the conversation. And of course, you know, he was like, y'all don't want to tell me what? And that's when she goes to tell him that she's pregnant with his baby. And of course, he thought it was a great, you know, oh my God, this is an awesome thing. This is an awesome thing. This is an awesome thing. But of course, she didn't think it was a very good idea at the time. Number one, he was whooping on her ass. Number two, she was, you know, her career was just getting, you know, just taking flight. Her career was just taking flight because she was going on tour. She was opening up for, you know, big time artists back then. MC Hammer was big time back then. You know, she was opening up for big time artists. She was doing really well. So she didn't really think it was a good idea to be pregnant at the time. And of course, while Jerry Heller was there, he was like, get out, Jerry. Okay. He was like, get out, Jerry. So Jerry, you know, at first he didn't want to leave because, again, Jerry Heller was one of the people who were actually trying to stop Dr. Dre from whooping Michel'Le's ass. But Michel'Le eventually convinced Jerry Heller to go ahead and leave. Okay. Eventually convinced him to go ahead and leave. And but he told her, he said, Michel'Le, I'm not going to leave you here like this. He said, I'm not going to leave you in here like this, because he already knew that when he left that Dr. Dre was going to whoop her ass. But she eventually got him to leave. But Dr. Dre, he would have whooped her ass if she wasn't pregnant. He said, if you weren't pregnant with my baby, I would whoop your ass right now, which goes to show, family, just whooping her ass for just off general purposes. Just off general purposes, he was whooping her ass, which is sad. Now, apparently, according to her, which it appeared to be that's what it appeared that she portrayed in the biopic, that he wasn't really beating on her while she was pregnant, which I guess is a good thing. I don't know. But you know, hell, it ain't good that you whooping on her at all. But according to it appeared that while she was pregnant, at least he wasn't whooping on her while she was pregnant. Let's see what else the fuck went on. Okay. Now we can talk about the fact that when Suge Knight went to jail. Okay, when Suge Knight went to jail, he proposed to Michel'Le. Now, Michel'Le and Suge Knight got married in while he was in prison, okay? Now, Suge Knight told Michel'Le that he was going to divorce his wife at the time. But it turns out that he didn't divorce his wife. So the whole marriage between him and Michel'Le was null and fucking void anyway, which is a good thing for her. Okay, it was null and void for her because he didn't end up divorcing that, you know, his ex-wife at the time. And I thought that was some gangsta ass fucking shit. Well, I ain't gonna say it was gangsta. It was fucked up. Okay, it was fucked up. But Michel'Le decided that she wanted to be at home for her son's birthday party, or for her son's birthday. So she decided that she was gonna go see Suge Knight in prison early. Remember, she had a strict ass schedule that she had to come see him in prison. Okay, but she decided that she was gonna go a day early. But the day that she came was actually the day that his wife was there. Yeah. Crazy family. Y'all can let me, matter of fact, I'm going to read the chat. You guys can chime in on what you guys thought about Surviving Compton. Like I said, I thought it was a great biopic. I really did. I think they did a very, very good job, especially if we are going to compare this to the Aaliyah biopic. Okay, we're gonna compare this shit to the Aaliyah biopic. We can definitely say that this was 1,000 times better. She was suspicious from the beginning. She should have looked into it. Looked into what, Latricia? Yeah, but Suge was a bastard because he had her believing that they were married and they never were. Of course, Suge was a bastard to tell from the beginning. Okay, he was a bastard from the beginning. Okay, we're going to stay on topic, y'all. We're going to talk about Surviving Compton. Kimberly said Suge did that to run game. He knew that he could manipulate and intimidate her. She said it was a great movie. It made me feel so bad for her. Crystal said, I'm coming out with Surviving Orlando, and imagine you was the girl from the Aaliyah biopic. Wendy, I don't know. Did you guys? I haven't watched Wendy Williams' review of Surviving Compton. I haven't watched Wendy Williams yet, but they said Wendy Williams. I don't know why people were dragging Wendy Williams, but I haven't seen it, so I can't give a review of what Wendy Williams' review was like. So yeah, that was the same Suge from Straight Outta Compton. I'm really gonna be following the whole lawsuit situation. No, I'm definitely going to be following the whole lawsuit situation. I want to see how that's going to play out for him. Because again, she did say that she has several people that she could subpoena who were witnesses to the whole situation. And somebody mentioned that Jerry Heller actually passed away in September, which wasn't very long ago. Wendy didn't talk about the movie today. She did do a review of Surviving Compton. I don't know if it was today or whether it was the day before yesterday, but I know she did do a review of it. You can Google it on YouTube. Yes, she has receipts, Greta. She has receipts, okay? She has receipts, so shit, fuck him. And of course, like I said, you got a lot of people who are saying fuck Dr. Dre, fuck his Beats by Dre. Of course he don't want to be, portrayed as this type of a person. Okay? Of course he don't want to be portrayed as being this type of person because he knows that it's going to fuck with his support system. Okay? Of course he rich as fuck anyway, but he knows that a lot of people are going to stop supporting what the fuck he said and what the fuck he stand for now that they see the type of shit that he did to this girl. Yes, she can sing good. I love me. Her voice is very pretty. It was the same Suge. He was like, forget that. Forget that. Let me get these coins. He should have just admitted it. He did. Well, the crazy thing about it, Nadia, he actually admitted it. But then he said that he wasn't referring to the whole Michel'Le situation. But it was an odd timing, okay? You released an apology basically saying that you apologized for all of the things that you did and basically saying that all of the accusations aren't true, but a lot of them are. And then after people were like, oh, okay, you pretty much admitting that you beat on this girl. Then after that, of course, people were like, you know, you pretty much admit you beating on her. And then his lawyer came out and said, oh, no, he issued an apology, but the apology that he issued wasn't in regards to the whole Michel'Le thing. Michel'Le pretty much just trying to get a payday. You know, yeah. Beats by Dre. Somebody, y'all, it's been so many jokes going around. Of course, it's not a joking situation, but sometimes you have to laugh at some of the stupid shit because somebody said that's how he get the name Beats by Dre, because he was beating on folks, y'all. Beating ass by Dr. Dre. Yeah, people, yeah, yes. Yes, your headphones got some interesting names. Beatings by Dr. Dre. Child. Like I said, it ain't funny, but girl, people knew because he did this publicly. Exactly, he did it publicly. That's the crazy part. He was beating her ass in the studio. Well, he was in the studio pretty much telling her, when we get in the car, I'm gonna whoop your ass. When we get home, I'm gonna beat your ass. He was telling her this in the studio in front of other people. Yes, he's worth $810 million. That's crazy, right? And she's worth, if you check her net worth, she's worth $100,000. Crazy. It's insane. It's insane. Thick Chick, did you get that he did to her the same shit I did to Tina? Hell yeah. I was definitely getting some Ike and Tina vibes, girl. I was definitely getting some Ike and Tina vibes, for sure. Why would you lie about that? Because it would be real messed up if you just want that publicity stunt. Like I said, of course, there are always two sides to a story, but at the end of the day, I don't think the girl is lying. But of course, I'm not a witness to the situation. Yeah, we could talk about, you know, Tupac's little scene in there. Who the fuck was that punk Tupac? Was that Suge Knight that punked Tupac, or was that Dr. Dre? I don't remember. But somebody punked Tupac. But I love the fact that Tupac, he was very nice to her. You know, of course, there were rumors going around that she actually slept with Tupac, and that's the reason why Suge Knight had him killed, because he was sleeping around with Michel'Le. It was, of course, a whole lot of fucking conspiracies. And all of those, of course, are conspiracies, okay? Yes, $100,000, girl. $100,000. It was Suge Knight that punked Pop. I knew it was something like that, but I was like, in a room full of people, I was like, I don't know about all of that now. That just seemed like I don't know. That might be reaching, saying that Suge Knight punked Tupac back then. But like I said, back then, family, they said that Suge Knight had a lot of power. I mean, just think about it. Any man who is actually able to give a woman $30,000 per month, just give it to her just off the fly, that man had a lot of power. He has security detail, all this other shit. That dude has some power, okay? That dude has some serious power. So it makes you wonder. That's all I'm going to say. That was Suge Knight that punked Tupac. Okay. Dre was worse than Ike Turner. Child. It was known that he is a woman beater, but it's nothing like Washington when it got in bed and beat her. Exactly. When he first did it for the first time, when he came home drunk and she was laying in the bed and he just got in the bed and just started beating on her. I was like, damn, you just gonna whoop her ass just because. Michel'Le did not know anything about contracts. That's why they didn't pay her for a lot of her. Exactly. When Michel'Le first started working with Dr. Dre and the rest of them, NWA, or I forgot the name of the record company when she first got with them. But when she first started working with them, they didn't pay her because, of course, her grandmother heard her on the radio. And she was like, Michel'Le, that's your voice. And, of course, she was like, how much did they pay you? And she was like, they didn't pay me anything. She was like, girl, you don't know nothing, okay? You don't know nothing about business. And that's when she, of course, went to them and told them that they need to start paying her, basically. They didn't pay her for a lot of the shit that she did. Girl, yeah, Suge Knight said that when I tell you karma, okay, like I told y'all, that karma, it might not happen tomorrow, it might not happen the next day, it might happen 10 years from now. But karma is a bitch, okay? Karma is definitely a bitch. I'm just gonna tell you that right here, right now. Karma's a bitch. It might not come when you want it to come, but it's gonna come eventually. I'm one of those. I know everybody don't believe in that, but I am a person who believes in karma. Just saying. Yes, I've been hearing everywhere that Dre is on the down low. They say Tupac called him out. What? What? Damn. Should I say that Tupac called out Dr. Dre for being gay? Dr. Dre says, I'm not gay, I'm bisexual. Oh, he really said that? I didn't know that Dr. Dre admitted to being bisexual. Where did he say that at, Head Daniel? Where are the receipts on the fact that Dr. Dre admitted to being bisexual? I don't remember that. I haven't heard that now. It's on YouTube. I seen it today. For real? For real? I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. Oh, Tupac rapped about it and did an interview. I'm missing out on a lot of tea. Thank you, Head Daniel. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you. It's me. Mia said, I don't believe that. Like I said, this is my first time hearing it. But Head Daniel said you can type it in on YouTube and it's on there. So you can type it in because I'm definitely gonna check it out. Kimberly said, I heard that about Dr. Dre. Haven't heard him admit it. Lateria said, yep, he said that back in the 90s. She said, Tupac said Dre was sucking dick on the stairs at Quincy Jones' house. What? Tupac said that Dr. Dre was sucking dick on the stairs at Quincy Jones' house. Child, what the fuck? Eazy-E knew about Dr. Dre? Bitch, y'all are giving me too much tea right now. What in the fuck? Big Sexy said, that's true. I heard the audio recording. Chantel said, it's some pics of Dr. Dre and lipstick and some more shit. What in the fuck is really going on, y'all? Like I said, y'all spilling some tea for real. Yes, karma is a mug, Nadia. Y'all done fucking gave me too much tea, bitch. I'm gagging right now. What the fuck is really going on around this piece? They have YouTube videos of Suge Knight saying that. Wow, Suge Knight just said a lot of crazy ass shit now. Suge Knight just said a lot of crazy ass shit. It just makes you wonder. And hold on. Did anybody else catch this? Okay. They said Suge Knight was actually at home watching something on TV when Tupac was killed or some shit. But wasn't he there? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the shit because I didn't go too in detail on my notes. But didn't he say something about he was watching the shit on TV or some shit? Motherfucker, when you there? When you in the car? I don't know. Maybe I missed some shit. Maybe I'm confused. I don't know. Because like I said, family, I was laying down when I was watching the shit. But I was kind of like, what? No, that was not correct. Lifetime got it wrong on that. I was like, huh? Tupac did an interview after the fact. I thought he was there. Exactly. I thought he was there too. I think that was after the fact of the okay, the other shooting. Okay. Aftermath of the shooting. Okay. They aren't letting Suge get any visitation from his children in prison. Is it the prison officials who aren't allowing him prison visits from his children? I know somebody actually asked Michel'Le, would she allow Suge Knight's daughter to go and see him in prison? She said that she wouldn't want her daughter to go and see her father in prison, but she said if her daughter wanted to go see Suge Knight in prison, she would not stop her daughter from going to see her father in prison, because she said at the end of the day, Suge Knight is still her daughter's father. She said even though she doesn't want, she wouldn't want her to go, She said she wouldn't stop her from going if she wanted to. What's up, Aubrey? Why did he go to prison? Oh, you know, he ran over that guy a couple of years ago and the guy died. Yeah, he ran over a dude with his car. Like I said, that karma. Yes, he ran over somebody with his car and the guy ended up dying. Her daughter went this weekend, for real. On Wendy Williams, she said she will be visiting soon this month. Okay. Y'all giving me some tea. Some shit that I didn't know. What's up, Brittany? Some shit that I didn't know. I'm glad you guys, and like I said, I really did enjoy the movie. I really, really did. I thought it was very, very well done. Like I said, in comparison to the Aaliyah biopic that Wendy Williams was the girl. I got a whole video on that Aaliyah debacle. Okay, if y'all want to check that shit out. For those of you that are going to be watching this on the playback way back, and for those of you that are going to be watching that are watching this right now, if you want to see my review of the whole Aaliyah biopic debacle, check my motherfucking shit out. Okay, it's here on the YouTubes. Okay, it's here on the YouTubes. It was some fuck shit. Okay, girl, let me tell you, the from the makeup to the acting was horrible. Okay, from the makeup to the acting, girl, it's like the guy that they had playing R. Kelly in the Aaliyah biopic. Girl, it looked like they got some braids and just super glued that shit to that dude's head. It was horrible, family. It was horrible. Okay, even the ball caps that they put on these people's head, you can see the lines in the ball cap and shit. I'm like, what was the budget? What was the fucking budget for the Aaliyah biopic? Even though Aaliyah's family said she didn't want Wendy Williams to make that shit. And of course, Wendy Williams went on her show saying apparently people loved it because it was the number one viewed movie that night or some shit. Girl, because everybody was talking about the shit on Twitter about how horrible it was. So of course people were turning it to the channel so that they can gag, bitch. People were gagging. Girl, it was horrible. Ugh. Girl, it was horrid. Ugh. Sean said, yeah, but Pac got shot on more than one occasion. Oh, okay. I'm glad Wendy didn't touch. Girl, Michel'Le wouldn't have sold her shit to Wendy Williams, girl. Michel'Le had to tell her story, girl. I'm glad Michel'Le wasn't gonna sell her shit to no damn Wendy Williams. Not if she wanted the shit done right. Wendy Williams wanted to keep half of that damn money. Wendy Williams like, oh no, it's gonna take $1 million to make it. Okay, we're gonna drop this down to $500,000, and I'm gonna keep the rest, and we just gonna super glue some shit to these motherfuckers' heads and shit. You know what I'm saying? Love you back, Tanya. A night that's different than a week or a month. You can't stand Wendy Williams. Well, let me put it like this. I'm not gonna say I can't stand Wendy Williams. I just think that she is she's extremely shady, extremely. But that's what she made her name on, being shady. So I'm good, Darlie. I'm better right now. I actually woke up on Friday with no voice. For those of you that don't know, girl, let me give y'all a little bit of rundown, bitch. We got to go into a rabbit hole really quickly. I woke up on Friday with no voice, okay? Decided that I was going to go to the country on Saturday. Went down to the country on Saturday, sitting underneath the shade tree. For any of you who are from the country or you live in an area where you have a really, really wooded area, decided I was going to go down there, sitting under the shade tree, having a good old time before it gets cold or whatever. Bitch, some bit me on my hand, girl. Some bit me on my hand. My hand started getting fever in it. And it was really, really hot, burning real bad, and it started swelling up. So I had to go get some antibiotics from the med center. Okay. Went and did that. After I did that, my hand still to this day, it still hurts a little bit. And it itches really bad. Somebody told me to get some Benadryl. I'm gonna have to get some Benadryl tonight sometime before I go to sleep. And then yesterday, I actually splashed some alcohol in my fucking eye. Okay, splash some alcohol in my fucking eye, y'all. Girl, I done had an interesting weekend. Okay, let me just say that I've had a very, very interesting weekend. Woke up Friday with no voice. Saturday went down to mama's house. Had got bit by some shit. I still don't know what it was that bit me. And had to get some damn antibiotics because my shit started burning. And I had to go get some antibiotics, girl. And splashed alcohol in my eye yesterday, girl. What a day for yesterday. So yeah, I'm fucking up. Where are Michel'Le's kids? I think her son is 21 or something like that. I don't know, 21 or something. Her son is like, he's an adult now, but her daughter is. They're with her. They're around. The guy that played Eazy-E was all wrong. Child. Yeah, I mean, some of the casting was it was a little confusing because I was getting Dr. Dre mixed up with somebody else. And yeah, it was a little confusing from time to time. But, you know, I think, like I said, I do think that it was better than the Aaliyah biopic. So her son by Dr. Dre is 24. Okay, he's 24. Okay. I know he was 20 something. Yeah, he should have played Eazy-E's uncle, not Eazy-E. The guy that played Eazy-E did not look like him at all. No, true. Okay, her Michel'Le's son is 25 and her daughter is 14. Thank you, Didi. I think they got the main characters right. The girl that played Michel'Le was very pretty. That person they had playing Tupac didn't look nothing like him. He didn't really look like him, Alan, but he sounded like him a little bit. He did sound like him a little bit. I just wish the things looked better, but again, we don't know but true. But like I said, I'm pretty sure they didn't have a huge budget for the movie or for the biopic, but I'm pretty sure for what the budget they did have, I'm pretty sure to me, it was good. I think they did a good job for, you know, getting it together in such a short period of time, personally. The guy that played Suge Knight also played in Straight Outta Compton. What's up, Bobby? Lifetime's casting is always all. Remember the Toni Braxton movie and how they did to Wanda's ass? Bitch. I ain't bugging with you. He looked more like Tupac than that Eazy-E motherfucker. True. That's true. I agree with you on that, Darlie. That Tupac actor had Tupac-esque features, kind of. He did kind of look like. He didn't look like him on, you know, on the nose, you know. But I think he kind of favored him. He did sound like him to me. Yeah, how many nose jobs did she have? Y'all a mess. A hot mess. A hot tamale. A hot tamale. So what else did I miss in the movie that I didn't bring up? I wonder why she didn't focus more on why she didn't get her music out after she overcame everything. Classy Boots, she actually said that she's kind of suffering from PTSD. You know, anytime, you know, you go through a traumatic experience, she mentioned that. She said that even before Suge Knight went to jail, she admitted that she was still scared of Suge Knight. She was still scared of him, and she felt like he was still trying to control her life. Because remember, her daughter is 14, and her, you know, Suge Knight was still a part of her daughter's life at the time, from my understanding. But she said she was going through, I guess, a lot of traumatic episodes, and she said she just didn't focus on her career because of the things that she went through. I think that this whole situation prevented her from really being great, for real. Being really great. One of Tupac's friends tweeted, Tupac would have never let Suge talk down to him. I believe, after all, he did want to leave death row. True. I thought that was kind of weird too, Miss J, at the fact that, you know, Suge Knight was talking, you know, Tupac just let Suge Knight punk him in front of a group of people. I thought that was kind of like reaching a little bit too. I really did. I thought that was reaching. But, you know, I hate how her family gave her messed up advice. I do too, Amina. I do too. But the sad part about it is you have a lot of people that's just like children who grow up in a home where their father beats their mother. A lot of times when the daughter, when the little girl grows up, a lot of times if she gets into an abusive relationship, a lot of times they look at that stuff as being normal. Same with boys, you know, if they grew up with their father beating their mother. I'm not saying all children, but a lot of times you have these boys who think it's normal for them to hit on girls, you know, which is sad. I think she stayed because of the money. Joy Davidson, I can't talk. Joy Davidson said, I think she stayed because of the money. Hey, $30,000 a month was a lot of money, especially for somebody who was in jail. At least he couldn't whoop on her while he was in jail. You know what I'm saying? I wish she would have kept her music going. Me too, M-Town Boy. Danny Boy from Death Row talked about Michel'Le so bad. Really, Queen Keisha? What did he say? I wonder if her kids have any issues. That's a good question, Mary Taylor. It's a good question. Dre left her for weeks without food and lifestyle. What type of man does that? A fuck boy, Lynn, a fuck boy. Left her for weeks on end with no food and no money, and with a baby there. The baby didn't have no formula. The baby didn't have any diapers. And he would just leave her with no formula, no diapers, no money, no food. He didn't even pay the damn bills. She's sitting up in the house with the baby and the lights cut off. And she had to call Suge Knight, and she told Suge Knight to see if he can get in touch with Dr. Dre so he can, you know, give her some money and get the lights turned back on. And that's when Suge Knight would come over and he would bring her food and he'd bring her money. And she looked at, like I said, of course, when she first met Suge Knight, she thought he was an evil motherfucker. But he ended up turning into a person who was kind of her saving grace. But he turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. That part that fucked me up was towards the end of the movie when she found out Suge big ass put all that shit in her name, girl. But Bobby, that's true. But the part that I liked was when the lawyer told her, you know, that she was going to be responsible for that shit. But at the end of the day, because she was his wife, but at the end of the day, they found out that he never did divorce his first wife. So that shit was pretty much null and void. It was pretty much null and void. Mother, you gonna propose to me in jail, tell me you gonna divorce your first wife, but you never did divorce her. Got me thinking we married. Come to find out we ain't married because you still married to another motherfucker. Girl, both of them motherfuckers ain't shit. I hope this movie makes Dr. Dre feel very, very guilty. Girl, Dr. Dre still denying this shit. Dr. Dre said he ain't do a damn thing. But girl, like I said, I wasn't there. But at the same time, I'm like, girl, I low-key believe the shit. Because like I said, I've worked with women who were abused. So, shit sound believable to me. Just saying. Both of them are full of shit. Okay. Dre had no business. So how many children does Dr. Dre have in total now? And don't it make you wonder if he's doing this shit to his current wife? I'm just saying, don't it make you think, like, I wonder if he's doing this shit to his wife, his current wife, you know? He got 11 kids. He got 11 kids, for real. What? He really got 11 kids. She said Dr. Dre had that good dick. I don't give a damn. I know y'all know how to make videos talking about being dickmatized, okay? Thank you, Brandy. You know how to make videos talking about being dickmatized, but ain't no dick good enough for me to be taking no goddamn ass whoopings. Not damn piece of dick good enough for me to be taking no damn ass whoopings. Okay, not on this side of creation. Hell to the no. Shit, fuck that. The fuck? Come break my neck, but give me that dick, nigga. The hell, fuck that. No, I'm straight. I'm cool on copper, okay? I'm cool on fucking copper. Just saying. Like I said, I done talked about being dickmatized before, but ain't no dick that damn good for me to be getting my ass whooped, okay? 11 kids, them nuts must have been big. Okay, Bobby, you are a fool. 11 damn kids. Wow, that's crazy. But he had 2 on the way when he got with Michel'Le. He had 3 kids before he got with her. So that's 5 kids. Wasn't he only like 20 at the time or some shit? 2021? So you 2021 with 5 kids already. That just goes to show how much of a hoe. He a hoe when he know he a hoe. He know he a hoe because he told me so. Okay. Wasn't that the mindset of Anime's mother in What's Love Got to Do with It? The bullshit starts at the top. Too bad Michel'Le didn't know how to fuck a nigga up like Tina did. And that was okay. Shit. Tina got to the point where she was like, oh, when Ike hit her ass in that damn limo, oh hell, shit. Tina whooped his ass back. She was bleeding. She was bleeding, but his ass was bleeding too. Okay. Fuck that. Didn't he have a son that killed himself? Really? I ain't know nothing about that. How Eazy-E called AIDS and Dr. Dre didn't, said Mona. Girl, word on the street is, y'all ain't hear about this shit, but word on the street is Suge Knight injected Eazy-E with AIDS. But girl, again, this is another conspiracy theory, okay? That's another conspiracy theory, but word on the street is that Suge Knight injected Eazy-E with the AIDS virus. But that's what they say. That's a conspiracy. What about the fact that she fucked both Dre and Suge? Now, Chantel, she was actually broken up with Dr. Dre when she started fucking Suge Knight. I think, okay, if I remember the movie correctly, I think. Hot grits on his face while, okay, you boil you some hot ass water, put you some, that's when I tell you, if you ain't never had no hot grits pop up on you while you cooking them up, girl, you ain't never felt pain, okay? You ain't felt pain until you had some hot grits pop up on your ass. Just imagine having a whole damn pot of the motherfuckers poured on you while you sleep. Girl, that should have burn your damn epidermis, dermis, and your subcutaneous, okay? Shit, the fuck? That'll burn every part of your damn skin off. All of it. What's up, Solomon? Oh, yes, she had a child with Suge a decade later, yes. They still put raw dick in everything. Child. Oh, his son overdosed? Damn, I didn't know that. I had no idea. So I wonder, okay, he has 11 children by how many women? Just out of curiosity. Dr. Dre has 11 children by how many women? Does anybody know that? That's a good ass question. How many damn baby mamas he got? I'm just saying, after Dre, I would have moved absolutely clear of Dre, Suge, and all his folks, even though I had his kids. Chantel, like I said, that, of course, looking back, we probably, we say that, and I agree with you. But like she said, at the time, she thought the shit was normal. And you have a lot of people that are in these situations who think it's normal, unfortunately, which is very sad. But you got a lot of people who are in these situations that think it's absolutely normal to be with these men who abuse you like this. And a lot of them just feel like they can't leave. But she is definitely a survivor. But I'm a survivor of abuse, and it's easy for people to say they wouldn't take it, but you have to be in the situation. I just thank and praise God. Girl, I'm so glad you are out of that situation for real. I am so glad that you are out of that. Ooh, girl. I'm so glad that you are out of that situation. I honestly and truly am. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. Girl, he got all that money. He better be caring for them kids. Okay. Dr. Dre got what? They like that, like somebody said, 800 and something million dollars. Shit. Why didn't they include Michel'Le in Straight Outta Compton? That's what he gets. Girl, they didn't include her because he didn't want folks to see what type of a person he was. But apparently they actually recorded some scenes with a woman who was portraying Michel'Le. Unfortunately, when Dr. Dre saw it and he saw the type of person that he looked like, he decided to tell them that he didn't want to include that in the movie. But what kind of shit is that? How are you going to be with someone for all of those years, especially during this whole situation, have a child by them, and then decide that you don't want to include her in the movie? That's shady right there in itself. That just goes to show you got some shit to hide. What's up, Marcus? Like I said, that just goes to show that you got some shit to hide. The mere fact that you didn't include this woman in the movie. Why? Just saying. Thanks for joining me, Peter. But the way y'all say he got 5 or 6 baby mamas, girl, a hot ass mess. Okay, a hot ass shitty ass mess. Just saying. But that was pretty much my thoughts on Surviving Compton. I thought it was a great biopic. I really did. I think it was very well done. I do think some of the people that they casted in the biopic were, you know, a little off. But I do think that it was a big step up from the Aaliyah biopic. And I'm happy that Michel'Le got a chance to tell her side of the story, because I do feel like it was shady and it was fucked up, and it was kind of low key admitting guilt, the fact that you didn't include her in the movie when she was such a big part of your life during that time. This is the Trina wig by Outre Lynn. I think she wasn't included because I thought they wanted to just focus on NWA and what happened with the group. But she was a part of that, Melanie. She was a part of that. She was a part of that. And the thing is, they had they had all of these other women who they, you know, loved and left in the movie, but they didn't include Michel'Le, which I think was fucked up. I wasn't there, but I believe he did. He beat the mess out of the other women. He can't beat no man. He's a coward to me. I agree with you, Vanessa. It was way better than I thought to LaShondra. Like I said, I think it was a great it actually was a great finished product. Probably they probably didn't have a big budget, and I'm pretty sure for the budget that they had, it was really good, in my opinion. What's up, Queenland? She was the first lady of Death Row Records. A lot of people ain't know who she was, but I've been up on Michel'Le. I love her. And again, when the slaps and punches stop hurting, then it's normal. Damn. My only issue about the movie was Jerry. Jerry wasn't good to nobody. I don't know why she thought he was doing her good. It's a mess. Like I said, I'm just really glad that she got a chance to tell her side of the story, because I do think that she should have been included in the movie. And like I said, and like she said, she's happy that they didn't include her in the movie. That way she was able to tell her side of the story, the truth, okay? Because she knew that if they did include her in the movie, they weren't going to put in there the fact that he was beating her ass, okay? She is definitely a survivor, and I think that, you know, a lot of people who are in abusive relationships, or a lot of people who have been in abusive relationships, can definitely relate to her. And maybe somebody will see this and they'll gather up the strength to be able to leave. You never know. This might save somebody's life. You never know. And I'm happy that she got herself clean, because being addicted to prescription pain medication and alcohol at the same time, that's some sad ass shit. That's some sad ass shit. But family, I really, honestly and truly, I thank you guys for joining me during this situation right here, y'all, because y'all know, girl, y'all know I be all over the goddamn place. And at first, my damn Google Hangout it was saying something about the shit. My camera wasn't working. And I'm like, bitch, I know my camera needs to be working, girl, because I've told these people I'm going to be going live, girl. So, like I said, I really do appreciate you guys for joining me. I did enjoy Surviving Compton. I'm going to be sniffing the tea and see what the fuck is going on with the whole lawsuit situation, because I don't really think that he gonna, you know, get too far with that, but we will see. We will definitely see how that plays out. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Thank y'all for joining me. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you enjoy these live shows, please consider giving this live show a thumbs up right now. And I will see y'all when I see you, family. Bye.